Hey guys, going for a little afternoon walk, get some fresh air, and that's the main reason. I just enjoy it, but also that's how you can burn some extra calories. I wanted to talk today about the best diet strategy for you, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. I've been personal training and doing nutrition plans, meal plans for people for over 20 years. And there's so many ways. First of all, it depends on your goal. I'm talking about for this time or for every time, but most people are focusing on burning body fat, building muscle, keeping in shape. And that's what I'm focusing on. And what I have found is there's many different diets to do. There's ketogenic diets, there's low-fat diets, there's zone diets, there's, where everything's in moderation, protein, carbs, and fats. And some are healthy, some are not so healthy. But what really matters is, first of all, is, you want to do a diet that you can stick with. You want to eat foods that you like to eat. And most foods, almost everything that you like eating out at restaurants, whatever, whether it's pizza, hamburgers, enchiladas, you can make all those same things at home and make them healthy, make them low fat or good healthy fats. The problem is when you buy this stuff out. So you want to eat foods that you like. If you like eating hamburgers, then get extra lean ground beef, squeeze all the fat out, make it low fat. Get wholesome wheat bread, instead of, going to fast food and getting processed crap, which has a lot of fat in it, and just processed foods. You can make that same thing at home, so that's the key. But you want to eat foods that you like. You don't want to follow someone else's diet plan that's just loaded with stuff that, you don't even like to eat, because that's just going to set you up for failure. So you want to have some structure. You want to have a structure, of course. You want to eat at consistent times every day, and have something that you do every day. You wake up, you have your breakfast. A couple hours later, you eat your second meal, third meal, fourth meal. You definitely want to have a plan to follow, but you want it to cater to you, because you want to stick to it. You don't want to do this all or nothing. You don't want to just copy, a diet plan from online that Joe Blow does, 6 meals a day, and he eats this, and this, and you're going to get sick of it. You're going to quit because you don't like it. And so that's the main take-home message, is you want to come up with something that you're willing to do. I can tell you what my dieting strategy is and what my plan is, but that's not going to be necessarily the meal plan that I do for you. I like to eat about 4 times a day. I'm working out based on my energy levels. I work out, I want to eat 4 times a day. So it's key for me to keep those meals consistent. So say I want to eat 4 meals a day. Each meal, say 600 calories when I'm trying to burn fat. So 2,400 calories for the day times 600 calories per meal times 4 meals. Okay, so I get up, let's just say, for example, I eat breakfast at 8 o'clock, and then I eat again at 4 o'clock, and then again at, say 7:30 p.m., and then maybe a light meal at 9 o'clock. So I want to get used to eating on a routine to where I don't have to think about it. I just get up, I have my breakfast, and then I have my next meal. Did I say that wrong? I have my next meal at say 12 o'clock. So 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and say 8 o'clock. That's more like it. So I want to have that routine where every day I'm getting up, I'm eating at 8 o'clock, and I eat my say I have a staple meal of oatmeal and eggs. And so right when I wake up in the morning, I'm just thinking oatmeal and eggs. I already got it planned. And then I do my workout and my work for the day, and then noon comes and I have my second meal. you know, beans and rice with vegetables and some protein powder. And then my 4 p.m. meal, say I have a sandwich. I'm just giving you guys examples, not exactly what I do, but I get on this routine and I'm doing the same thing every day. I'm kind of eating the same type of foods every day. You know, I can have some flexibility in there, but I know my numbers. I know how many grams of protein, carbs, and fat I'm getting. I have it laid out, but then I have some flexibility. So say one meal, instead of eating I'm eating a cup of rice every day at my noon meal. Well, let's say it's 40 grams of carbs from rice, 40 to 60 grams of carbs from rice. And say, you know, I want to jump in, I want to have some, I don't want to have rice that day. I feel like eating some bread. So I'll take out the rice and I'll have a couple of slices of bread, whatever makes up that 40 to 60 grams of carbs. And without getting too detailed or too confusing to you guys, I just want you to understand the basis of what I'm saying. You want to have a routine. You want to be consistent with your diet. A diet that you like, foods that you like, and then have a routine laid out so that it has structure, but you want to have some flexibility in that structure. You know, so say one of my meals, I have fruit every day. And so I don't have to eat the same exact fruit every day. Say one day I have pineapple, the next day I feel like eating an apple. So I eat an apple, or strawberries or blackberries. Or say I want to switch out my carb source and I'm craving some yogurt, some strawberry yogurt. Well, I just put those numbers in my Fitness Pal, and I keep the same numbers of protein and carbs and fats, you know, while I'm dieting. And if you don't want to do that, then you can eat off a piece of paper and eat the same exact meal every day. But I encourage you to be flexible. You know, starting off, you want to follow a strict plan. If you don't know the numbers, if you don't know how to add in numbers and do my Fitness Pal and all that, of course, you want to start off strict and just eat the same thing every day. Once you have a basic understanding and you're ready, and you start to learn, you know, how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats are in each thing that you eat, and then you can start swapping stuff out and have some flexibility. And that's what helps you keep consistent. Is you know, this whole dieting thing or eating good. You don't want to do something so strict and just do something, you know, so strict for 8 weeks, and you're just counting the days down. You can't wait to get through your diet and to your goal and just get off the diet and go party or just go binge afterwards. You want something that you can stick with and you can stay to long term, and it needs to be flexible. You need to have some flexibility in there. And sorry to keep repeating myself, but that's kind of the take-home message is, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can do. All the clients that I work with, you know, I give them ideas and tips of things to do. Like, this is just, I mean, I'll just give you an example of, say I'm on my diet and I'm eating really good, wholesome foods. Every day I'm eating my beans and rice and, you know, whole eggs, vegetables, whole wheat bread, and I'm just craving some pizza. Or say I'm at work and everybody brings in all this pizza, and I'm like, I have my meal of whatever, you know, lean chicken, rice, and some vegetables that I'm supposed to eat, and they bring in pizza, and I'm just like, man, I'm just thinking about that pizza. So say normally I'll say, when I'm not doing good, I'll be like, man, I am starving. Here comes lunchtime, I'm at work, and I'm down 4 to 5 slices of pizza with some Coke, and man, it just tasted so good, and I feel like such a failure because I failed on my diet and binge. I ate 5 slices of pizza, 2,000 calories of pizza. Well, here's a better way to do that. Let's say, okay, I'm craving pizza. They bought pizza. There's a party, a celebration at work, and instead of me saying, no, I'm not going to have any pizza, I'm going to eat my meal and just go about my business, which you can do that if you're fine with that. But, you know, if you feel that like tugging on you, that's what makes people fail. You're like, man, I just can't do it. And then you go overboard. Well, let's say this. Let's say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and eat my meal. I'm going to have my chicken, my rice, my vegetables. I'm going to have that. And then I'm going to have 1 slice of pizza afterwards. I'm not gonna drink I'm not gonna eat the 5 slices of pizza and the Coke, okay? So you eat your meal, your chicken, rice, and vegetables, and then you have some pizza, and you get to enjoy this pizza, and it's great for your mind and your taste buds. And you didn't totally deprive yourself. You had a slice of pizza, and instead of the Coke, you get a Diet Coke. No calories, but you still got a little bit of taste. Or say you drink half a Coke or a couple of sips of the Coke. Don't drink the whole Coke. And by eating that meal, first of all, you're sticking to your plan, and you're getting the good nutrients and everything, the macros and protein for muscle and everything that you need. And then you have the pizza, and the last thing your brain remembers is the taste of that pizza and that satisfaction. And you're like, man, and then you don't feel so bad. You didn't eat 2,000 calories of pizza, and you feel good. And you can do the same thing with the dessert. Say they bring in, tons of cookies, those big gigantic things of cookies that they always bring into your job. Instead of eating 3 or 4 cookies, you go ahead and eat your meal, and you have 1 cookie, or 2 cookies, or you could even, you could take 5 cookies, wrap them up in a bag, and take them home and put them in your refrigerator. And each time whenever you want a cookie, instead of eating 5 cookies at once and not eating your meal, you eat your meal and you have a cookie, one cookie a day. And that way, this is not for someone who's entering a bodybuilding contest in 3 weeks, or you have a photo shoot. Those times you can be real strict, for a period of time. I'm just talking about someone wanting to lose fat and moving towards your goal. Or even if you're in the beginning of a contest prep or something and your mind's going crazy, these are things you can do to let yourself have a little bit. Another one too is there's been times where I'm eating a meal, and I just keep using my chicken, rice, and vegetables as an example, even though I don't eat a lot of chicken. But say I'm having one of my meals, chicken, rice, and vegetables, and it just seems boring to me, and I'm craving, say I'm a chip guy. I love Doritos or Cheetos. I say, instead of me eating a whole bag of, chips, 300-400 calories, 15 grams of chips. Let's just say I just love Doritos, nacho Doritos. Well, what I can do is I'll have my chicken, rice, and vegetables, and I'll have like 6 triangle Doritos, 6 whole Doritos I'll put on my plate. That's really nothing. That's really my minuscule amount of calories. And actually the spices and the taste of having the Doritos with my meal, that kind of tricks your mind. You're not totally depriving yourself. Whenever our minds are like that as humans, whenever we're saying, do not do this, you cannot have this at all. None of this, no cake, no ice cream ever. It makes you go crazy, and that's all you think about until you collapse. But it's kind of a way of letting yourself have some and realizing, I don't have to eat the whole bag of Doritos. I don't have to eat the whole gallon of ice cream. Let me have my meal first, fill my belly up, give my body all the nutrients and the good wholesome that it needs, and I'll have a little taste of this. And then you'll realize that, hey, you can control yourself a little bit, because you're not totally denying yourself that special treat, and you're eating and you're already full. It's not like you're starving. That's the thing too, you don't want to be starving on your diet either. If you're starving on your diet, then you're gonna fail. There's only a certain amount of willpower before you collapse. But these are just some tips and tricks that I tell my clients and help my clients. And the clients I work with, I write them up individual customized meal plans. I give them foods and meals that they like. If you like eating, whole meals, sometimes some people like eating sandwiches, some people like protein drinks. I come up with a meal plan designed for them and according to them with some flexibility, and then I teach them and I walk them through this. I show them, if there's any cravings or chocolate cake or ice cream, I show them what to do with those things and how to enjoy life and when to have those things. And these are just some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way to keep you going psychologically instead of the all or nothing. If you're just eating tuna, rice, and salad and water, and you're like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be hardcore, like Rocky, And you do that for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then you just can't do it. And you just eat a whole gallon of ice cream. Then you feel like a failure, and you just like, oh, screw the diet. And you just come off the diet, and then you do it again. You try hardcore again. So these are just some psychological, the whole thing is it's a psychological thing. And if you learn how to make a diet work for you, and fit it into your lifestyle, have a social life, have fun, enjoy life, there's a way to do it where you have a structured routine, okay, that's made and made to win for your goal, made to get you lean and stay lean and healthy. You have a structured plan, a routine plan. You're eating at the same time every day. You know what you're doing, you're on that plan, and you have a little bit of flexibility in there. Then you don't feel like you're in chains. You don't feel like you're locked down. It doesn't make you go crazy. And then you're able to stick to a plan, and then you measure your progress. And so, like I said, a lot of my clients I work with, I talk to them weekly. We do weekly video chat, and they send me progress pics of their pictures. I'm watching what's happened to their body. As long as they're making progress every 7 days, every week, every 2 weeks, they're burning fat, they're moving towards their goal, they're building muscle, they see the results, okay? That's what's important. And so I talk them through the process, you know, on the video chats. I get to see what they look like, talk to them face to face. I hold them accountable. And then any problems that they're facing with their diet, any mental things, or, you know, if they go off the deep end and binge, I show them why. Like, first of all, why are they binging? Why are they going off? Is it because they're missing their meals? Sometimes people will miss their meal. They skip a meal, they think that's good. And I tell them no, because if they skip a meal, that's gonna make them binge later. Their body's gonna crave that later, and they're gonna eat overboard. Or if they're waking up in the middle of the night, you know, that's what our weekly video chats are for. That's what our weekly conference call is for, is to talk about that. And then, you know, retailer the diet, structure the diet, find out why they're, you know, if they're a couple weeks into the diet, they're doing good for 2 or 3 weeks, and then stuff's not working, or they end up going crazy, or they can't stick to their diet. You know, that's good to find out why. Why are they not sticking to their diet? And, you know, everything, all this whole plan to win is 80%. Just remember that. You stick to your plan, your workout plan, your diet plan, 80% of the time. Have a little room to flex. It's not failure. It's the long haul. It's not what you know, this hardcore deal. You know, if you have a photo shoot or 6 weeks out from a contest, that's one thing. Go hard. Go hard and count down those days, that 3 weeks, that 4 weeks, those last 6 weeks, and then afterwards, you know, have a splurge day, 2 or 3 days for a week, and then go back to the diet. But for the normal person that's just wanting to get lean, you know, get down to a nice beach body look, you know, lean abs, nice bikini build for the women. That's more about 80-20, 80-20, 80% of your dieting has to be on point, 80% of your working out has to be on point. You can mess up 20% of the time, and it's not failure. So it's a different perspective. You just keep working out, and you keep, you know, staying in shape, and keep watching yourself, you know, track your progress, take pictures, look at yourself, look at the scale, look at the mirror. And if you're constantly either, you know, if you're already in shape and staying in shape, then hey, you know, you can figure out what your body's able to get rid of. It's a lot, I mean, get away with. It's a lot easier to stay in shape and hold a certain look than to actually get there. Just remember that. So sometimes you have to work harder in the beginning. But I just wanted to do this video to talk about the best diet for you is a diet that you can stick with. One where you're consistently making goals, but you don't feel so restricted. You're enjoying your meals. You enjoy your routine. You know, you don't have to eat, you know, Joe Schmo over here, or Joe Blow, or whatever, just Joe Smith, you know, might need to eat 6 meals a day every 3 hours. That's the way he likes doing it. Well, you don't have to do that. You might eat 3 meals a day. You know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner might work for you. You don't have to do 6 meals a day. If you're gonna do 6 meals a day and you just can't stand eating, you can't stand the little small meals and constantly eating the same thing every day, you know, and then that's not the diet for you. It might be better for you to eat 3 larger meals a day where you have them spaced out. If that's going to help you stick to it in the long run, and you can do that long term, that's better than you trying to do Joe's diet. Well, Joe's might love his diet. He might like eating every 3 hours, you know, 6 meals a day. That might be the one that works for him, and that's great. I say run with it. I have people eating 6 meals a day, weighing all their food out perfectly. Okay, there's people that don't like doing that. They rather do the 3 meals a day, and it's just easier for them. They enjoy their meals. They get to have a little bit larger meal, and they don't want to carry their food around with them all day long and eat out of the little containers, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if 3 meals a day works for them, then it's better for them to do 3 healthy meals a day and stick to a routine and get their protein, carbs, and fats in that way. They're going to have the same results in the long run if they can stick to it, versus them or either one of those people trying to switch and do the opposite and trying to do another plan that's not going to work for them. And you know, they do it for 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then just can't stand it anymore and just fall off. Then that's not a diet for you. The diet strategy for you is a healthy diet that gives you plenty of energy, one that you're eating foods that you like, ones that satisfy you, a routine that you can stick to that has some flexibility. You have to have a structured diet, a diet routine, okay, that you're following every day. A baseline plan, a blueprint has to be there, okay? But you want to have some flexibility and structure to it also, is all I'm saying. And that's what helps people mentally to keep to it, to stick to it, to know, you know, they're not ever falling off their diet. If they have some flexibility or they have a little detour or a little snack, doesn't mean that they failed. It's just part of the journey. You've got to have some flexibility in your diet. You have to, it all depends on what kind of person you are. Are you a person that wants to eat the 6 meals a day every 3 hours and be a little bit more neurotic with it? Or do you want to have some flexibility? You have a family, you know, business, you're traveling all over the place. You know, there's ways that you can do it. You know, if you want to eat, one person might eat 2 whole meals a day and 2 shakes a day because they're real busy and they don't want to cook all day. Whereas the other guy might want to do 6 individually home cooked meals, all weighed out to perfection. Well, that's fine. That works for him. It might not work for the other person. So you'd want to, I know I'm repeating myself over and over again, sorry for that. The main take-home message is you want to do a diet that you can be consistent with and enjoy your life and have flexibility, but still be on your diet and still keep moving towards that goal of getting lean, burning the body fat. And then once you get there, you want to have a goal of keeping in shape and maintaining that. How can you maintain your diet? You know, and those are 2 different diets too. That's another topic. You might have a diet, like say someone that needs to lose 30 pounds of fat, and they're going to have a specific diet to lose those 30 pounds. And they can't eat the same thing every day for the whole 12 weeks. It has to change, because once they lose 10 pounds, then their metabolism changes and you have to change the diet. You have to constantly change the diet every 2 weeks, every week, depending on how their body is responding. And then once they lose the 30 pounds and they're at their specific goal weight and they're looking good, then they have their diet changes a little bit on how to maintain that. How can they maintain that? And that's when you've won. That's when you have victory. That's when you get to that fun part. When you get that body that you like, you hit your goal, and then staying there. That's another topic. What kind of diet, how do you change your diet? Because the diet that it took you to get there is not the diet that you're gonna take to keep it there for long term, for the 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. You know, the diet that it took you to get there may have been harder, may have been tougher. Then you can back off the gas pedal a little bit once you have achieved your goal and you have the body you want. That's when it's fun. That's when you've arrived. And then that's a whole nother mentality and a whole nother diet strategy that we can talk about later. If anybody wants any help with a meal plan or wants a consultation or wants to talk about it, what what my diets consist of, the philosophy and everything that goes into it, and what kind of diet I would suggest for you, then click the link below and fill out my form and get in contact with me, and I'll give you a call and we'll talk about it, and I'll tell you exactly what it's going to take and how long it's going to take and what to expect for you to reach your goal. Have a great day.